If you have not put your life in harm's way in a foreign country while no one back home knows exactly where you are or exactly how to get a hold of you, then you haven't really lived at all. That is exactly what we did in the bed of a ramshackle Toyota pickup with no restraints, driven by a local with no restraint, as we explored the dunes of a place called Mars on Earth, a place they filmed some of your favorite movies, a place in the middle of Jordan that looks otherworldly. That's Nick, this is Sean, and that's me, Jeremy, and we are taking you to what is absolutely one of the coolest places we've ever been on the entire planet, Wadi Rum, Jordan, in this episode of Window Seat. Our journey starts first thing in the morning in the Red Sea port town of Aqaba, Jordan, as we pile into a van full of strangers, destination a massive desert that we've all seen on the big screen without actually knowing it, a desert that looks like another world. Just a few minutes later, we arrive at this desert camp located in the beautiful Moon Valley, next to the Valley of Pillars. You can actually sleep out here if you like, and we've included a link in this video description. This is where we load into the back of a truck. No seatbelts, no straps, no safety, no worries. As we set out from the parking lot, off in the distance, we get our first glimpse of what lies ahead, and it is jaw-dropping.
We're in Wadi Rum, and we're in a desert in the middle of Jordan, or southern Jordan. It's amazing.
This desert, the Wadi Rum, which translates to Valley of the Moon, sits just a couple of hours by road from Saudi Arabia, and it's unlike anything you've seen before. Blood-red sand, jagged sandstone mountains, sweeping sand dunes, natural arches, massive cliffs. It looks like those NASA images sent back from Mars. And as far as Hollywood's concerned, it is another planet. Fact is, this desert has doubled for outer space at least a couple of times. They used this to film Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and also The Martian with Matt Damon. The most famous movie ever filmed here, though, has to be Lawrence of Arabia.
Holy
This mythical fairy tale setting often takes a back seat to nearby Petra for tourists visiting Jordan, but having been to both, it is our opinion this place is far better. Get out and look closely enough at the rocks, and aside from some errant graffiti, you might even catch a glimpse of some of the 25,000 petroglyphs, or ancient rock carvings here. Early communication from those who called Wadi Rum home as long as 12,000 years ago. Blasting through the ancient terrain in our nearly as ancient pickup truck, alongside us is Nicole and her family. She didn't know what to expect out here.
It's gorgeous. It's got a lot of different scenes. Everywhere you look, it's different, like you're on a different planet.
Why'd you want to come here?
I like to discover new places and see and meet different people and experience have cultural experiences. So this is really, really special.
Just outside this cave, we chatted with a tourist named Peter who arrived in Jordan on business, but his trip to Wadi Rum is all pleasure.
We came here on a work trip, but we actually had a little time for vacation. And we wound up taking this tour to this beautiful desert area full of rocks. It's amazing.
As our trek through the sand continues, we do run into a small convoy of trucks loaded with tourists eager for a camel ride or some other memorable way to put an exclamation point on this amazing day. But one of the things that stood out most to us during our visit is just how alone we are out here. In a desert the size of New York City, you'll probably only see a couple of dozen other people all day long. And we spent just one day here. Imagine, as so many other people do, spending the night out here in a Bedouin camp, surrounded by a magical desert landscape, an Arabian night in the very place T.E. Lawrence, the actual real Lawrence of Arabia, visited and made famous. After an afternoon under the desert sun, hiking the sand dunes, taking in the craggy vistas, and pinching ourselves that we stumbled onto such an amazing excursion, our time in Wadi Rum came to an end far earlier than we wanted. It was time to depart the Bedouin desert camp and head back to Aqaba. But before we left, we couldn't help realize why adventure seekers have sought out this transcendental oasis for thousands of years now. As we spend our last minutes floating across the sand in that ramshackle Toyota, taking in the 360-degree views of breathtaking beauty, it hits us. When the place you travel to literally seems as alien as this, then there really can't be any other place like it on the planet.
I've never seen anything quite like this. Didn't even know what I was signing up for. Just made sense for this trip. But this has probably been one of the highlights of Jordan.